It is unboxing video time. We're going to talk all about this. I'm also going to tell you how I completely screwed up. And this is all on me. Nobody's fault but my own. I completely screwed up the PSA launch of grading magazines. I mean, I could not have botched this any harder if I had intentionally tried to do a terrible job. I've totally screwed it up. I'm going to give you all the details and be transparent and let you know how I'm just a jag dork for not figuring this out and I'm still behind the 8 ball with it. But let's talk about this unboxing video right here. I have a Slam magazine cover of my favorite current NBA player. So we're going to go through that. I have another political piece. You've seen it before. You know my rules. We are not going to talk about politics, but we are going to talk about the collectibility of politicians. I have, in addition to that, another Caitlyn Clark issue, but don't run away. This is a Caitlyn Clark publication that I've never gotten graded before, so you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. I have an auto racing publication, and we'll talk a little bit about auto racing. So that you don't see very often, so we're going to talk about that. And then, to wrap it up, I have a modern Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, which might become, maybe, we'll see, might become one of the most collectible modern Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues. So let's get this sucker opened up. You know the rules. I'm Jim. I'm with CGC Sports Illustrated. I know what these issues are. I don't know what the grades are. You can cheat if you want to, and no shade on you if you do. I get it. Most people do. Very few people wait, don't look at the grades in advance online and wait until they get them in the box here. It's just more fun for me to do this. So I know what these issues are. I don't know what the grades are. You're getting my reaction live on this video. These are upside down. Okay. By the way, love this new shipping method that CGC is using with these kind of form-fitting packages there. Love those. Okay. First up, man, this is going to be good. Oh, here's my other. It's been a minute, for starters. Haven't been doing a lot of unboxing videos. I'll get into that. And I'll tell my story about why, because I screwed up the PSA transition. But we got a shot at a lot of 9.8s. You are going, if I don't get a 9.8, I'm going to say it right now. If I don't get a 9.8, that is it. I'm done. I'm going to go collect, Beanie Babies or the Boo Boo dolls or whatever the heck those things are. I'm done with collected sports magazine. I guarantee, watch this not come true. I guarantee there's at least one 9.8 in this box. Could be multiple 9.8s in this box. So this sucker is rearing and ready to go. And maybe we just start with a 9.8 right now on this issue. Wouldn't that be good? I couldn't tell you the last time I did an unboxing video where we started with a 9.8. Let's get to it. Good vibes. That is not the start I wanted. Oh, that stinks, man. Oh, that stinks. Slam 255. This came out in April 2025. This is Luka Doncic's first, I believe it's his first, I know it's his first Slam magazine. I believe it's the first publication anywhere with him in that beautiful Lakers uniform. Only one graded so far at 9.6. I projected this at 9.6. That's not mine. So there's one at 9.6. There's now one at 9.4. Tons more of these will show up in the population report as time goes along. I really wanted this one because it is the first cover of Luka in his Lakers uniform. What city an athlete plays in, which franchise an athlete plays for, makes a difference in the level of their collectibility. You may hate that. You may absolutely get upset, but I am here to tell you the truth, even if it's something you don't want to hear. So if you hate that, that doesn't mean it's not true. Where they play, which franchise they play for, makes a difference in collectibility. The Lakers are, easily, probably top 2, maybe top 3 franchise in NBA history. So Luka going there is going to increase his collectability. He's more collectible now that he's with the Lakers than when he was with the Mavericks. If Derek Jeter played his whole career for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, he would not be anywhere near as collectible as he has today, having played his whole career with the iconic New York Yankees. Someone did a big article. They wanted to see, strictly based on big data, just based on data, who the greatest NBA players of all time were. And they ran it through this big thing, and of course, number one was Michael Jordan. Number two, you want to guess who number two is? You're not going to guess, but give it a shot anyway. Who was number two when you ran all the data? Number two greatest NBA player of all time? Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was qualified as the second greatest NBA player of all time, right behind Michael Jordan. You know who collects Tim Duncan? You know how many people collect Tim Duncan? About that many people. Number one, he didn't have the flashy game. We love the guards. We love Allen Iverson doing crossovers. We love Jordan slamming dunks in people's face, and we love everything that LeBron and Kobe and Shaq did. Those are flashy players. Tim Duncan was not a flashy player, but what hurt him even more from a collectability standpoint is he played his entire career for the San Antonio Spurs. Won a ton of titles in San Antonio. If you lived in San Antonio or you're a Spurs fan, I'm sure that was awesome for you. You know what the rest of the sports world did? Big deal. Nobody really cares about Tim Duncan. So where an athlete plays their career, which franchise they play for, impacts their collectability, and Luka moving to the Lakers increases his collectability. I've talked about this before. He's my favorite NBA player, probably because I saw him play in person early on in his career. I was in Dallas in 2019 for the college football playoffs, actually. Notre Dame was taking on Clemson. That game did not go very well for Notre Dame, but it came into town a couple days early so I could see some sights, do some stuff, eat some barbecue, and the Mavs happened to be in town. And so got tickets, went to the Mavs game. Luka went off. 40-plus points, almost had a triple-double. The guy was crazy, amazing. Ever since then, Luka's been my guy in the NBA, so let's do it right now. Luka Doncic, highlights.
Down by 2.
There's the switch.
Gobert's out there. Doncic maneuvers for the lead. Got it! Got it! What a shot!
Nothing shocks me about this game.
And that drew rim. It's still loose. Luka got it back. He did it! An improbable comeback by Dallas to tie it. It's Luka against Josh Richardson. Left side of the floor. Luka's three. It's a ring. And get it to Boston again.
Born to get down.
Luka Magic on a Saturday night.
Got to get it in. Here's Luka. Gets it away. It's good! A Doncic dagger!
Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls up. Three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer. Moves on Pullman. Takes it in! Hammers it home! Dallas has got the lead! Doncic throws down a sledgehammer!
Don't sleep on Luka. Drove it early, had the mismatch. You thought I was going to lay it up. No, I'm flushing it on you.
Early minutes here. Taj Gibson on the floor as well. And Powell open. Luka Doncic with a little spice.
This is, come on. Oh, no, he's right-handed. He did turn around. Nonetheless.
Peter trotted back and forth. Doncic into Jackson Hayes. What a pass. Jackson, three. Good. What a pass.
How did he get that through?
Look at this pass here. I mean, wow. With the left hand, too.
You got to stay engaged. Here is Luka looking off the defense. Oh, and what a fancy pass. Luka maneuvers away from the closeout. And that is about the best dunk we've ever seen out of Luka. This is a holy moment right here.
Nice, though.
Can't believe NBA season's about ready to get started here. Looking for a lot of things out of Luka in the 25-26 season. Hate that 9.4. Okay, let me tell a story about how I screwed up this the PSA launch of magazines, which if anybody should have been able to do it right, it's me. Nobody was more excited than I was about PSA coming into the graded magazine space. I've been talking with them for a couple of years. They've been great. You know, I've been giving them the collector's perspective. Hey, this is what collectors want. This is what we're concerned about. This is what we'd like to see you offer when you start grading magazines. Worked with them for 2 years. There were some delays. We'd hoped that it'd come out the year before. Fine, no big deal. Get set for a mid-July launch. Knew that a couple months in advance. Okay, fine. So I time my submissions to CGC. I think, okay, fine, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna send some stuff to CGC. I'm gonna time it out perfectly. And as soon as mid-July and PSA opens their submissions, I'm gonna slam a bunch of submissions into PSA, and that way I'll have unboxing videos and I'll have this unbroken chain, and it'll be awesome and great. That did not happen. In fact, that failed spectacularly. Number one, PSA, while they launched it in mid-July, they admitted they had supply chain issues, which meant the wait times were going to be really, really long, and they weren't going to be able to turn them around as fast. Okay, no problem. I get that. You're launching a new product. No shade to PSA. All good. Understand that. But then I screwed up because I was in the process of getting a dealer account with PSA, just like I have with CGC, so that I can take orders from customers, especially those that send me things for pressing that don't have their accounts. They can just submit it under my dealer account. Great. The problem with that is I didn't ask PSA how long that process takes. I thought it'd take a week or two. Turns out it takes several months. And again, it's nothing against PSA. My fault for assuming it would take a week or two. Should have asked them in the process. So here's where I stand. I still have not made a submission to PSA for magazines, and it is freaking driving me crazy. Now, what I could have done is just made submissions under a personal account until I got my dealer account, but for some reason in my mind, I was like, I don't want to start there and then shift accounts over to a dealer account. I'm sure the dealer account will get, pushed through here in the next couple of weeks, and couple weeks turned into several months, and here we are, and I'm on the verge of getting the dealer account, but still don't have it and still haven't made a PSA submission. So this is a long story to tell you. This is why I haven't been doing many unboxing videos, because I just haven't had boxes to do videos on. I just completely overthought, like to 1,000 degrees overthought the entire transition process from CGC to PSA, and could not have botched it worse if I had intentionally tried to screw it up. So that's why you're not getting as many videos from me. Hang in there. I promise. We'll get back on track. Jim wasn't such an idiot. There'd be unboxing videos coming out every week, but Jim's a big idiot, so this is what we're left with. Okay, that's a story of why I don't have as many unboxing videos, but they are coming. I will get into the PSA pipeline. I threw some stuff towards CGC, so at least I have some stuff coming from there. We will get back into a rhythm again. Thank you for your patience. I honestly do really appreciate it. Okay, back. Next one up. I was going to make a joke like I was feeling like I got shot, but that seemed inappropriate there for a second. Brutal! Come on! 9.6. What did I do? I ran my mouth. I talked about how I may have multiple 9.8s, and in fact, I pulled a Joe Namath. I guarantee we'll see at least one 9.8 in this box. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do if that comes. What did I say? I said I was going to quit magazines. I was going to go collect Labubus or something like that. We'll see. I'm a man of my word. If it happens, done. That's it. I'm checking out. 9.6. That thing freaking stinks. You've seen this before. The Time Trump cover from August 5th, 2024. This is a variant. Now, CGC has not broken that out. It may be entirely because nobody has tried to get the other issue graded. Kamala Harris was on the other issue that was out that day. Let's go through some Pop Report numbers. Sit down. It's going to take a minute. You're going to want to take a deep breath with these Pop Report numbers. 75 copies at 9.8, 172 now at 9.6, 135 at 9.4, projected this at 9.6. Nearly 600 copies of this issue have been graded in just about 1 year. That is an incredible volume for any magazine, especially a non-sport magazine, a political magazine. We're finally starting to see a little bit more balance in the supply and demand for Donald Trump items. January, February, March, people were jumping out of windows to get Donald Trump stuff. I mean, his collectability was through the roof. The prices were through the roof. Okay, the supply and demand balance is getting a little bit more in line. Prices have really come down dramatically. Still very collectible. Still getting strong numbers for a lot of these things, just not at the level that we saw earlier in the year. And there's still a really strong volume of both grading and selling. I did a quick search on this. Over 100 copies of this issue have sold in the last 30 days on eBay. That gives you an idea of the demand that's out there. But the supply balance is now more in check. Hate that 9.6. All right, I'm 0 for 2. Let's do a little bit of a reset. Let's take a minute. We're not in a hurry. We're just hanging out. We're having a good time. Okay. Just gonna do a reset. Cool. Mentally reset. We're looking for 9.8s. I'm manifesting 9.8s. Full complete reset. Come on. Here's the Caitlyn Clark I've never had graded before. Caitlyn Clark, Time Magazine. This is her first cover appearance on Time Magazine. It does say Caitlyn Clark cover in the variant, so it is broken out. Athlete of the Year, Caitlyn Clark, first time. Would have liked a little bit more description on that, like first time cover. And it's graded at 9.6. There are 26 copies at 9.8, 36 now at 9.6, 26 at 9.4. Projected this at 9.6. She was the Time Athlete of the Year in 2024. What a dumpster fire the WNBA is. Just an absolute joke of a league. Totally unprepared for her. And you know me, I am not a WNBA fan. I am a massive Caitlyn Clark fan. So she'd been injured. I haven't been watching all season at all. When this issue came out, one of the big owners of WNBA, I think it might have been the Atlanta franchise owner, came out and said, oh, it's a shame that they couldn't have just made the entire league the Athlete of the Year as opposed to focusing on one individual. Are you friggin' kidding me? Grow up. We're adults here. This is a sport. This is a business. This is competitive. She was the Athlete of the Year. Don't give me this, oh, we need to spread it around a little bit. What a bunch of joke league. Total joke league. The only thing that kind of has buoyed me this year is I keep thinking in my mind I'm comparing Michael Jordan starting the NBA to Caitlyn Clark starting the WNBA. Both had outstanding rookie seasons, Rookie of the Year. Both got injured in their second season, missed almost the entire season. I expect nothing less than Caitlyn Clark to come back and rip off 6 WNBA titles. I do hate that 9.6. An incredible amount. What am I going to do if I don't get a 9.8? I don't even know what Labubus are. I just heard the name. It's some like plush toy, collectible. I don't really know what they are. Okay. There's got to be a 9.8 in here. There's got to be a 9.8 in here. Whew, okay. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. On this one. This is the one. This is the one that's a 9.8. And there it is. Boom, 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 boom. Lewis Hamilton, Time Magazine, in a beautiful 9.8. So this came out on March 25th, or I'm sorry, March of 2025. Let's look at this. Okay, well now this is interesting. I did not request this. This says Lewis Hamilton first time cover, and I'm going to get into that in a second because that's wrong. I did not make that request. Somebody else must have made that request, and it's in their system, so now whenever they slab one of these, that automatically goes on the label. It's not right, CGC. It's not right. We'll get into that. So let's go through the pop numbers on this. As of the recording of this video, there's only one copy graded, and that's at 8.0. So top pop right there at 9.8, Lewis Hamilton. This is not his first Time Magazine cover. He was on Time Magazine in December 2017. However, I can see how people can be confused because that was a UK-only variant. So if you want to sit here and say this is Lewis Hamilton's first US Time Magazine cover, okay, that's accurate and right. But to call this his first time cover is not accurate. Come on, CGC. All you gotta do if you got a question on it is stop. CGC has all my contact information. Like, shoot me an email, shoot me a text message. You got questions on any of this? I'm happy to help. I'm not charging you anything. Never heard from anybody. This is not his first Time Magazine cover. Let's go through some stats on Lewis Hamilton. 7 Formula One titles, tied with Michael Schumacher for first place all time. Also, he holds the record for the most wins, most pole positions, and most podium positions. I am not an F1 fan. I recognize the collectability of Lewis Hamilton. I'm not an F1 fan. I'm not a racing fan. I tried. I really tried. You remember when NASCAR was like top of its game in like the early 2000s? Man, I sat down, I watched races, I listened to sports radio where they were talking about NASCAR. I tried to get into it. I just didn't care. Tried the same thing with IndyCar, tried the same thing with Formula One. I want to get into auto racing. I just can't do it. I guess maybe I'll keep trying, but I'm not there yet. And certainly F1 has exploded. The Netflix series, big races in the U.S., just started, like the one in Las Vegas, which was huge. I will tell you the one exception to auto racing is the Indianapolis 500. I love the Indy 500. I've loved it ever since I was a little kid. I love the traditions that they have there. I love it that it's always on the Sunday and Memorial Day weekend. I've been to the Indy 500 3 times myself. I'll tell you my Indy 500 story. So, just so you know, single largest sporting event in the world every year. 300 to 400,000 people. They don't really have a hard count because there's about 300,000 people in the grandstands, but then they can put upwards of 100 to 200,000 more people in the infield. So they really don't have a firm count. But the years I went the COVID year, so it was half attendance that year. And then I went 2 other times and it was full attendance. It was like 350,000 people there. So you gotta think, the Speedway is just in this little neighborhood in Indianapolis, so parking is crazy. So you're kind of parking in neighborhoods and on people's lawns and in business parking lots. We parked like 1.5 miles away from the track, and I'm like looking at it on Google Maps, and I know where my seats are. And so we get to the front of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we are on the southeast corner of the Speedway. And I start looking at a seating chart, and I notice that our seats are on the northwest corner grandstands that'd be by turn 4. It was 1.2 miles for me to walk from the front entrance of Indianapolis Motor Speedway to my seats. That's how big Indianapolis Motor Speedway is. If you get an opportunity, go to the Indy 500. It is so much fun. So many great traditions. One of the only sporting events, they let you bring in your own coolers to sit in the stands. I'm not just talking about the infield, to sit in the stands. People bring in their own coolers. You can bring in your own alcohol. So people bring food and snacks and cocktails. The only rule is you can't bring in a glass bottle. So I cannot give you a high enough recommendation for the Indy 500 if you're into big live sporting events. It's awesome. This 9.8 is even more awesome. Lewis Hamilton, Time Magazine. What this should have said, actually, okay, now I do remember. Okay, back up. I didn't make that first Time Magazine request for Lewis Hamilton, but the request I did make that is accurate, that they didn't honor, is this is the first time Ferrari has ever appeared on the cover of Time Magazine. You can see the Ferrari horse right there. This issue came out when Lewis Hamilton switched over to Team Ferrari. And I made that request, and they didn't do it, but they put First Time Magazine cover on there, and it's not his First Time Magazine cover. What a freaking mess. All right, I don't have to quit magazines. I don't have to start collecting Beanie Babies or Labubus or whatever they're called. Whew. I literally, I'm sweating. It's not a joke. I'm sweating. I was worried there. I was like, I made this stupid guarantee. What if it ends up, I can't cash in on it. All right. By the way, you notice the music change in my 9.8 celebration? Oh my God, I never even hit the 9.8 button. Oh my God. I just realized I didn't hit the 9.8 button for Lewis Hamilton. I was so worried about having to retire from the graded magazine hobby due to that guarantee I made at the beginning of this video. I was so worried about that I never even hit the 9.8 button. I'm sorry. I'm out of sorts. Hopefully, this is the last one. Hopefully, maybe we'll pop a 9.8 on this bad boy, and the 9.8 button can come in, and we can have a ton of fun. Okay, last one. It'd be fun. Hey, I said there could be multiple 9.8s. I guaranteed at least one. Check that box. I said there could be multiple 9.8s. Let's finish this box strong and get the second 9.8, and let's have a lot of fun, and everything's going to be great. Oh, it happened twice. Not going to forget this time.
To my fingers tangle, I'ma tell you from a different angle. These O's mock a bagel, HP jump out the stable. If her daddy wants that,
Okay, all right, okay. Man, why they gotta wait till the end to give me my 9.8s? Could just give me a 9.8 on that Luka in the beginning and I wouldn't have been sweating like I am on this. Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover, that is Livy Dunn on the cover of this issue. Okay, so the variant got broken out. It says Dunn variant, but they did not fulfill my request of this being her first Sports Illustrated cover. What are we doing, CGC? Like, seriously, what are we doing, CGC? I made that request. I made that request in the exact manner and procedures that you yourself have said that this is how you make label requests. And they didn't put it on there. Well, it is Livy Dunn's first Sports Illustrated cover. This is the current copy, 2025 edition of the swimsuit issue. There are now 15 copies at 9.8, 20 at 9.6, 2 at 9.4. There are 4 different variants for this year. Jordan Childs, Lauren Chan, Selma Hayek, and Livy Dunn is on the cover. Who the heck is Livy Dunn? Well, aside from being smoking hot, she was a gymnast at LSU. And one of the things Livy Dunn really did that was interesting is she was a gymnast at LSU in 2021 when the whole NIL thing started. And she was one of the first athletes, male or female, to get that first multi-million-dollar NIL contract. I think she ended up making $3 million her first year in 2021 with NIL. Insane numbers. Now, it helps that she's attractive, but she also has 10 million followers across all social media platforms. So that's another big one, too. But I thought it was so interesting that some of the first athletes in college to get these big NIL deals were women athletes. And more power to you. Get your bag, girls. Love it. Love to see it. The other big thing that Livy Dunn's known for, especially now that she's out of LSU and has graduated, is she's the girlfriend of Pirates Major League Baseball pitcher Paul Skeens. So, best pitcher in all of baseball. He also went to LSU. He's dating Livy Dunn. Those two are just an absolute power couple in the world of sports. Great box. 2 9.8s. 3 were total garbage, but 2 9.8s, including that Lewis Hamilton and including this Livy Dunn. I mixed up the music on the celebration, the 9.8 button. Shout out to Caitlyn for making that request. This has been a ton of fun. I swear, we will get through this transition period, and then we'll start having unboxing videos on the regular again. But for now, I really appreciate your patience, and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.